Hey guys, welcome back to the React Router Master tutorial. So in this video we will study protected routes, route protection, like when we want to protect some pages that we don't want the user to access it, for example protecting admin panel. And then we will dive into query parameters using the useSearchParams hook. When we set the data and get the data from the search parameters, and these are on the URL, and we mainly use that for sorting, filtering, and pagination kind of features. And then we will implement lazy loading used for good performance, and at last we will just implement 404 page, which means not found. So let's get started and just understand what are search parameters at first. So let's go to the browser, and first of all let's just put in a query parameter or search parameters. So here I have the products page, and here what can I do is to put in query and put in a parameter, put in my query. So for example, I want to search for the category when the category is equal to computer. So if the category was equal to the computer, then I want to render the list based on it. So if you remember from the previous video, I have said that let's assume that we have a product list here and we want to search for the computer. So we want to search based on computer or filter based on computer. So what can we do here is to get the data from this URL, which is probably we will set it or we will get the data from the backend. So usually we set the category or anything else to something and we get the data from the URL query parameters using the useSearchParams hook, and we render the list or anything else based on it. So let's do the work. Come into Visual Studio Code. So we have work in products.jsx component or page. So what can we do here is to get that data that we already put in our search bar in our URL. So what can we do here is to use useSearchParams, and we want to get the data from useSearchParams hook. So we are just structuring search params, and this search params has a method available on it which is called get, and we can just put in something like, here we are searching for the category, so we will put in the category. So I will pass a string called category, and I got the category, so I should store this in some variable. So const category is equal to searchparams.get the category. So I will just render it for now in my browser. So let's put in category and render category for now. So let's see in the browser that we got the computer or not. So I will enter, and you can see here the computer is here. So you can see here we can read the data from the URL. So then how to put the data in the URL? Like we have previously said that we set the data and we get the data, and this feature is mainly used for the filtering and sorting. So what can we do here is this useSearchParams is returning another thing as well, which is called setSearchParams, like a normal state variable. Params, setSearchParams. And what can we do here is to make the experience well enough and understand you that. So what can I do here is to create a function called handle setting category, and I will just what can I do here is I will just set search params, and you can just guess it from here that search_params returns an object. This is an object in the search_params returns the search_params is an object, and when we are setting it, so we should pass in an object as well. So what can I do is to pass in, for example, the category, and the category should be equal to phone. So handle setting category, you can add handle setting category to phone as well here, so I'm just keep it generic. So let's come in here and add a button that sets the category. So button, and I want to set category to phone. So I'm keeping it specific here, and on click what I want to do is handle setting category. So I'm setting category here in this function, which is just called up and on click, and then here I'm getting the category myself, so I can filter based on it. So let's come here and pass in food, or just remove everything. I want to remove everything, and I want to render a button here which is not rendered right now. So I want to save it, and here you can see here set category to phone. So look at the URL here. I'm clicking on a set category to phone, and you can see here the query was added and the category is equal to phone, and I'm getting the category here. So enough for the useSearchParams hook and query parameters. You can set the data and you can get the data, and you can filter, sort, and do pagination based on it. So now what we want to study is the protected routes. So sometimes you want to protect a specific route that user can't access it. So for example, protecting admin panel. So what can we do here? It looks very simple. So what should we do is to come into components and just create another component called protected route. So here I will use my own command called rfc, and here what do I want to do is to have some logic at first. So I want to have logic for not authenticating the user. So for example, at first I want to set a variable called is logged in is equal to false at first, and I want to do something like if the user is not logged in, then what do I want to do is to return. Then what do I want to do is to return and navigate the user to a login page. Navigate, which is just imported from the React router DOM, and can I navigate the user into is like the login page. I don't have a login, so what I want to do is to redirect the user to the home page. So this is, you can redirect the user to the login page as well. I don't have it yet, so let's redirect it to the home page. So if the user is not logged in, so let's navigate the user into the endpoint of home. And one thing other that I should do is to return children. So you should understand the concept of children up till now. So what can I do here? I should accept children here as a prop, and I should return children. So whatever was passed inside of this protected route, opening and closing, is the child of the protected route, and I want to return that child as a result if the user was logged in. So let's get into the app.jsx. These are the routes that we have. So which route do I want to protect? So let's, for example, protect the about route. So what do I want to do is to import protected route and have the closing and opening tags of it. So I want to put the protected route in the element. So sorry for it. So what should I do here is to not wrap all the route, but just the element that I'm rendering. So what can I do here is to just use the protected route here, protected route, and inside of it, so what do I want to do is do something like this. So I want to save it, and let's go to the browser, and now it's fine. And let's go to about page. So I have set it is logged into false, so I will be redirected to the home instead of about. So let's click on about, and you can see here the home page. Let's click again on about, and I am redirected to the home page. Let's click on home, and I'm in home already. So let's check if I am logged in. So let's set this into true, and now you will see that it works. I can just go to about, and you can see here about. So this is how you will implement protected routing in React. So this is just a functionality. So and the important thing here is just the functionality. So the other thing that we want to study here is a lazy loading. So this is very good for performance optimization. So when we just render our React application here in the browser, all the pages will load at once, but we want to load the home page at first. Then when the user goes into about, then I want to render and fetch the details for the about page, and then the product, and this is very good for the optimization. So what we will do here is to implement lazy loading, and lazy loading looks very simple. What should we do here is to just do import these components, not in this way, but a little different way. So let's just apply the concept into the about page. So let's apply it into about. So where am I importing about? Here is about. So what can I do here is const about is equal to lazy, and lazy will be imported from React, and you can see it here. I want to have it at the top, lazy, and this lazy I will accept I will just give it a callback function, and I will import I will pass in a string and import and set a path to get the about component from. So I'm getting the about component here, and I will just comment this out, and here in the about I will just put in my about. So what should I do for lazy loading is to import something other and put all this route in something called Suspense. And Suspense is having opening and closing, and what can I do is to put this route in a Suspense, and Suspense is just accepting another attribute, which is fallback. So when the page is loading, what do we want to show here? So in my case, I will just simply put a paragraph with the loading text. So I think this will be enough. So let's check if it is working fine. So let's go to the home endpoint. The thing seems that not to be quite working. Where are things going wrong? So we should find the solution. And the thing is that I'm putting things wrong. So this suspense should just go into the element. So you should do this and not put all the route inside of the suspense. So I can check it here, and I'm going to about, and for a second we will see loading here, and you can see here loading. So this is how you implement the about page. So then the last thing was very simple, and right here what I want to do is to implement another route, which is 404 not found. So route, and the path is a star, which means not defined an element for it. So I want to have an element, define an element for it, and I want to just say not found and close the route. So I create another page for it, and that is not found.jsx, and I want to have my own command and say, sorry, the page you are looking for is not found. So pretty descriptive message. So let's go to the Visual Studio Code app.jsx, and I think the not found page is not imported. So what should I do here is to import the not found page, not found component. So let's save it and go to a path, an endpoint that we don't have. So let's type in something random and enter, and you can see, sorry, the page you are looking for is not found. So what we did is we implemented programmatic navigation, used useNavLink, and nested routing, protected routes, dynamic routes, and query parameters, lazy loading, and 404, which are advanced topics in React Router. If you want to make yourself job ready, then these concepts are enough for you. So till then, keep learning, and we'll see you in the next video. And if you want to have a project on the React Router to be explained in a project, then let me know in the comments. So till then, keep learning.